to the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in iHeartRadio for those watching on YouTube, and for those in the future from the past, hello for those, because that's the podcast. We got to always show some love to our podcast listeners as well. Matt Iwanyk, Zachticum with you here at the desk right now. YouTube Trev on the other side of the camera, who was having a great time earlier singing. Vasily, you might as well turn your mic up a little bit.
You're
and
so
sing
Vasily.
Well, you can't start doing it and then not put your mic on.
You're talented.
19 hours, 25 minutes, 3 seconds until the Edmonton Oilers have to decide whether they're going to match the St. Louis Blues offers of Philip Broberg and or Dylan Holloway. Obviously, the Oilers making a little bit of news yesterday. For those that have not been around, what did the Oilers do yesterday? Vasily Podkolzin was acquired forward by the Edmonton Oilers from Vancouver in exchange for a fourth-round pick in 2025 that was previously acquired from the Senators. The Oilers also then make a deal with the San Jose Sharks, acquiring defenseman Ty Emberson in exchange for defenseman Cody Ceci and the Oilers' third-round selection in 2025. I believe that leaves the Oilers with just a sixth and a seventh-round pick in 2025. So next year, the 2025 draft, we could just cancel it, I would just say, because no one cares around here. But a lot of moves for the Edmonton Oilers. And what we know from Puckpedia is that as long as Evander Kane goes on LTIR and the Oilers send one player down to the minors of an $810,000 cap hit or more, they would be cap compliant to both match Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway. So we're waiting to see what happens there. I would just go with the Oilers aren't going to make an announcement tomorrow. I'd be surprised if they make an announcement today.
Well, yeah, they're just going to wait till the last minute, right? Wait until 7:28.
Why? It'll be like 7:00 in the morning or something. That's when they'll drop it. Like, that's the thing you see with offer sheets way too often, or not way too often, but it's either you're going to match it right away, you're going to just lay down the law and be like, no, we're keeping this guy, or letting him go, or you're going to wait till the very end. There's no middle ground. Like, I know there's some people over the weekend like, oh, I'm going to be waiting to see what happens with this offer sheet. Nothing was going to happen with the offer sheet.
Yeah, no, I was out camping. I was like, forget about it. I'll wait until Monday. I'll wait until the day comes to hear what happens. And then the trades occurred, and I'm like, oh, all right, well, now we got some movement.
Yeah, that I don't think no one was expecting.
Yeah.
That no one was sitting there going last night, I think, let's see what the Oilers trades are going to make. And I don't think anyone was predicting this. I will give credit to Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman. I would guess that just, what we've seen for the last number of years with the Oilers, they would have just let one of these or both these guys walk or match them, and it would have been what it was. But they actually went out and found a way to get some moves done. And this feels very uncharted territory for the Edmonton Oilers, where the GMs actually went out and did something to try to potentially keep both these players, or at least one of these players. And yeah, you lose Cody Ceci in the process, but you bring two warm bodies in, and you're likely going to, I would say going into the weekend, I would have said it was probably likely Holloway was getting matched and they're going to let Broberg walk.
Yeah. Oh, me too. And then the Podkolzin move happened, and I'm like, okay, well, what's going on here? And now it kind of shifted to Broberg, and it seems like, what was the vote today? It was 74% of the nasties wanted Broberg to be matched. It seems like Broberg's out there. There's arguments on both sides, but now the Ty Emberson trade to get that cap space there, a little bit younger guy, less cap hit, just at $1 million or under $1 million. Now you can match both if you're the Oilers, but it still looks like if they were to only match one player, that one player would be Broberg if they only chose to match one offer.
Yeah, we got this comment in the nasty chat from Calvin C. I read an article yesterday that the Oilers said that that guy said there's a possibility the Oilers still don't match offer sheets. Save the money to sign someone else, plus need the money for Draisaitl to resign, then McDavid and Bouchard. I don't know why those contracts would necessarily fully be involved with the other contracts, and I will break this down where my head is going with this, but one is, to me, you don't lose Broberg for a second. Like, he's a good young defenseman. And then this team's not going to match Broberg, and you don't have Cody Ceci, so you've lost your entire bottom pairing defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers. And what player out there are you going to go get that is actually that much bigger. Who's that stud defenseman you're going to find in the free agent market right now to replace them necessarily? As for then the contracts for, Draisaitl and Bouchard and McDavid. McDavid's, I'll just say this one. He's not getting that much of a raise. He's got a high contract. He's 12.5. It's not like you're seeing the Bouchard jump where he's going from 3-something to 10 million, where also you're having to find $7 million. Yes, there's going to be a little bit, but here's where the McDavid contract comes in. It's going to be the cap's going up. The cap's going to keep going up. So by then, whenever the cap goes up that year, likely will replace all of McDavid's money. Next year, the cap will go up. It will replace some of that money. But to me, you keep Broberg, and even if you trade him next summer, you probably going to get a better asset than a second. The money's going to be there to get those two guys signed. So I don't think it's in that situation. I don't think you're looking at the cap situation next summer that you're going to allow it to impact this summer. You're going to spend this year. So I don't know why you would let Broberg walk now and not have Cody Ceci, because then who's playing your bottom six?
No, exactly. They picked up a lot of play. I mean, they have Josh Brown and Troy Stetcher, who's still coming off of an injury, but putting that much time into Philip Broberg there too, and him showing up like that, it could be a lot of money that you're paying him. It could be a bit of an overpay, but how he played in the playoffs through the Stanley Cup final, he looked very solid. And to just give up a player like that for a second round pick, there's still some, I guess, gray area there where he could come into the season maybe a little bit off, but taking that risk and paying that extra money could be worth it. He could turn into, maybe not next year, but the year after, to be worth that amount at 4.58 or whatever it is for 2 years. I don't think the money will necessarily be a full issue. It is right now. But as you mentioned, once you have to sign McDavid and sign those bigger contracts, the cap going up, now that it's not a flat cap, is really going to help and kind of open it up a little bit. And that 4.58 really won't be that much, even if it ends up being an overpay with a possible match tomorrow. 7:29 it is on the dot. 7:29.
7:29 is what I've been seeing. Is that I don't know how accurate to the second they are. What'd you say, Trev? 32 seconds. And 30. Are you sure? Okay. You say 32 seconds, Trev, and didn't fully know. But what do we? I'm gonna have this countdown. I'm gonna keep it a watch. 19 hours and 17 minutes remaining for the Oilers to do something on this. Good news is by the time Two Guys and a Goalie gets going tomorrow here on the Edmonton Sports Talk with Gager, Cass, and Dusty, we'll know what's going on with this. Smitty the Welder bringing this point up too, and I can't remember where I saw it as well. Can't remember who's the one that had it, but Smitty the Welder in the nasty chat. Paul Coffey wants Broberg. He's also adding what Coffey wants, he gets. There is that story that's out there right now too that Paul Coffey's really big fan of Broberg, has been working with him and is fighting behind the scenes to keep him around and stuff. So that's where you do keep that. And as the Georgia Satellite, shout out to my fellow CFL commish out there, Fantasy Football League, losing Broberg for a second is horrendous asset management. Cannot do that. And that's the part to me that goes with all of this, is that he clearly wants to not be an Edmonton Oiler as much anymore. He had the trade request from this season, signs this offer sheet. You match it, and you go like, look, dude, go play hard. Go do some great things. Go be a $4 million defenseman. And next August, we'll trade you for something else so that we get a better asset than a second-round pick in turn for you. And maybe the Oilers can find a deal next summer for Broberg, for another defenseman that replaces him naturally. But it just, from an asset, I don't, like, that's the part where I know a lot of people, I think we're looking at the $4 million part, or the 4.5 or whatever the official number will be for Broberg, that they're looking at that in this season and going, well, that's the thing, he's now $4.5 million. I don't look at it that way with Broberg. I go, this is an NHL defenseman who you used the first round pick for, who looked really good, as you pointed out, Zach, in the playoffs last year. I don't want to lose that for a second. I don't want to lose that just for a second round pick. I want to get something better than that for him. And the only way you can trade him now is if you match this offer sheet and you wait till next August, then you trade him. That's the way I'm going about it. Maybe he helps the Oilers win a cup this year. And then awesome. Everyone could part very happy. But you go to Philip Broberg and you say, look, dude, we know you're not happy. Come play for 82 games plus playoffs here. Help us try to win a Stanley Cup. You get a ring. And next summer, we're flipping you. We'll send you somewhere. You won't be here anymore. And we can bid farewell, but you're coming to camp this year. Get ready because you're going to be needed. And this team has a chance for a cup, but we've matched it. Now you have no other choice but to go play hockey. And if the better you play, the easier it is for us to trade you next August.
Yeah, and his time is now. He didn't really get a lot of the time. There was Desharnais taking up his spotlight, so he was a little bit put in the shadows, didn't get as much playing time probably as he wanted. But now, if the Oilers match, they're going to play him throughout the entire season. There's no other way. You can't scratch him. It's his time to play. Well,
yeah, he was also he was penciled in to be a number 6 defenseman now. You know, with Cody Ceci gone right now, he's the guaranteed top 5. They need him. The Oilers, just in that sense, they need to use him. There is no being upset with this player and be like, well, we're going to scratch you or things like that. Now, you can't waste that on a $4.5 million player. You need him playing. So, it's even you'll get the playing time. You'll get the opportunities, Philip Broberg. But that's where, if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, I'm absolutely matching the Philip Broberg. Dylan Holloway, I think you still match it. Same type of thing. Asset management. Losing him for a third would suck. But I also see that if you're looking for needs and stuff, the Oilers, they have a lot of depth in forward.
Yeah,
they can afford to lose a Dylan Holloway, and it doesn't hurt their organizational, from forward, top down, from McDavid down and stuff as much as losing a Philip Broberg right now.
Especially with the acquisition of Podkolzin. That is a hard name to say. You said that you're gonna butcher it on there. Podkolzin. I always say Puckholzen.
I don't know why. You gotta write it phonetically.
Yeah, Podkolzin. But
I struggle with names a little too often.
Oh, it's not. Some of those names are insane, and not getting the phonetics of it either. Like trying to just read it. You just have to hear somebody on a play call hear it, and then I'm like, that's the name. And sometimes they
I have to say it multiple times over and over. I've worked hard, like Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That one took me a while too.
I had to learn that one. There was days I would drive home and I would just say his name a few times because I wanted to get it down. Because we used to call him just the Greek freak, but then to me there was a point where it's like, no, it's just this. Look at how good this player is. He deserves the respect of his name being called, not just going Greek freak because I can't say it. And now I could say Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And it's a fun name to say.
Podkolzin is one I'm gonna have to learn how to say.
Both are fun names to say. Fun fact: I was just checking this. Philip Broberg was picked 1 pick before Podkolzin.
Yes.
So 10th overall in 2019, Vasily Podkolzin, and then Broberg just 9th overall.
Which you then sit there and go, what are the Canucks doing here? Why are the Canucks moving on from him?
There must be something not going right. I mean, he's 23. He's played 137 games, 35 points in the NHL. He only had 19 games last season, 2 assists. So his rookie year was great in 21-22, 79 games, 14 goals, 26 points, and something just isn't clicking him playing on that team. So maybe it's a change of scenery. Who knows? And Trev mentioned this. The last Russian forward that the Oilers traded for was Klim Kostin. As per YouTube Trev. That's what he said. So and he was the captain in Russia, he's saying. So was Podkolzin, but I don't know. It just wasn't shining with the Canucks, I guess. And I don't think it's a bad trade, but getting Podkolzin, I think it puts that question mark where it's like, well, now you have so many forwards matching Holloway at 2.6. Is it needed if you have Podkolzin? But he doesn't seem to be as much of a player. I would say I haven't watched him too much in the series, of course. Some of the times that the Oilers have played against the Canucks, I've noticed Podkolzin, but I don't know his game as much as Dylan Holloway. Just as many games as I watch for the Oilers. But I would like to see both players stay on the team. You can't give up those assets, and it would change the age as well. Very old team the Oilers are, and then without Broberg and Holloway, that would be older. Huge. They would be probably the oldest team in the NHL, if not like top 5 oldest. At one point they were.
I know that's what that thing gets out there that the Oilers are this old NHL team, but when you also look at it, they're key players. They're not the old guys.
Well, yeah, it's
Stuart
like
Skinner's young. Corey McDavid's still young, or Connor McDavid's still young. Leon Draisaitl's still young. Nuge isn't old. He's not young, I will say. Hyman's not old, but not young.
Ekholm's older. Perry's 39.
Bouchard's young. Like some of the core of this team, they're not the old guys.
They're under
not
30,
the old ones. That's the one where when that gets thrown out there, I go, yeah, okay, but that's everywhere else. I don't care about everywhere else.
The Derek Ryans.
That's the veterans on the team. And honestly, I'm okay if they're old guys that are veterans. It's as long as the core of the group that is leading this team, to me, that they're not the old guys. Mo in the nasty chat, and then I do want to jump into the Parish Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999, as there's been a few messages in there. The only logical explanation to everything that's happening is they match both Holloway and Broberg unless they're planning to use the second and third of the compensation along with the cap to get a top 4 right-handed D-man via trade, which is a very fair point. Maybe that's the way you're looking at it, second and a third plus whatever else. Can that go get you a defenseman to add to this team? The fact that you would lose Broberg and Ceci as well.
That's been a spot where the Oilers really, every trade deadline almost, top 4 defenseman, top 4 right-handed shot, this and that. If the Oilers end up doing that and just get the compensation, that would be a very easy move to make. Now you're saying for next year, it's only a 6th and a 7th rounder or something, 5th and a 6th that they...
All they have is a 6th or 7th for next year at the draft.
Just write it off. So if you trade those picks for a defenseman, that's always the option. I always say you'd hate to see, as somebody in management, I'd imagine just putting this much time into some sort of any prospect, any asset that you have. Ken Holland's first crack at the can, picking Broberg and trying to just build a player. And now he's really becoming that NHL defenseman that you sought him out to be. If a second round pick is the only return for that, all the time and energy wasted essentially without a match, it would be kind of detrimental. And maybe being Broberg, he would enjoy that more. He's going to get the money regardless, but it just depends on if he plays for the team that he requested the trade for or a new place in St. Louis. And he'd get more time in St. Louis. He'd be a bigger piece.
He would be, but it's a team that does not go into many places.
So if you want to win a cup or have the chance at winning a cup or get more minutes, it's really...
Well, Broberg has no more choice in this.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other part of this, too, is that it's he made one choice, but now the Oilers dictate what's going on. According to Puckpedia, they do say the Oilers still have a 4th. Now, they did trade a 4th for Podkolzin yesterday, but that was Ottawa's 4th. So I don't know if the Oilers still have a 4th. I have to go through all the trades. So they might have a 4th, a 6th, and a 7th next year, potentially. In the Paris Jewelers inbox, Hampton Steve, hey, Maddie, FYI, Speck in his article last night had said he'd been told that the announcements from the Oilers or the offer sheets will likely come this afternoon. So my countdown of 19 hours and 7 minutes and 25 seconds, it might be much less than that if Speck's got that right. KR, you need to keep Broberg. He's still young, looked good in the playoffs. His skill ceiling is replacing an aging Ekholm in a few years. You need to keep him. That coming in from KR. The thing I will say, though, KR, is I agree on most of that. You do need to keep him. But I also it doesn't seem like there's a player that wants to stay here. And there will be a point where he's an unrestricted free agent and you won't be able to keep him anymore. That I think you keep him now, you keep him for a season. You hope that everything goes well, that short sample size we saw in the playoffs is kind of the player that we see in the regular season and for this season. And you get a better asset for him in the offseason. You move him for something better and just almost go that clean sweep. You know, it doesn't seem like I don't think you'll be able to convince Philip Broberg to want to be an Edmonton Oiler necessarily right now.
Well, he clearly didn't. He asked for he had the trade request there, and he could possibly be forced to wear the orange and blue still, but it's sort of a tampered relationship now, and that's kind of the best bet that you have is signing him and seeing how he plays this year and possibly trading him, as you said, hoping that you can get more assets. It sucks. I wouldn't put it against Philip Broberg. You want to be playing, and he signed the offer sheet. You want to get more money. You're not going to sign $2 million cheaper or whatever it was to just play for a better team, you're going to go and get money as a player, especially making that kinds of money. You're not going to put $1 million really on the table when he's just fresh off his ELC. He was fresh off his ELC, right? I'm thinking about it. I don't remember what age he was signed at, but he's 23 right now. So yeah, he will be UFA if he sticks around. Either way, as it stands right now, if it's matched, he's not going to be an Oiler, whether he stays for the 2 years or gets traded, whatever happens. As it looks right now, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think you can convince Broberg to stay.
Yeah, and spinning the wall, they're saying the trade request was done when he was playing in the NHL. And he also came up and he commented that he wasn't, it was his agent. But Elliot Friedman was the one last week talking about it, and he said Philip Broberg was part of that trade request at the time, and he still is feeling that way. That was from Elliot Friedman last week, so I just don't think there's a way to convince him otherwise, because you're also going into the season knowing that he was a top six. Like, you were going to Broberg, everyone knew that he was going to be part of this team moving forward, so now he's still wanting to leave this team. So there's clearly something there that I just don't know if necessarily the Oilers will be able to bridge and keep him around. The question I guess I would throw to some more people out there, actually I'll read a few more texts, and then I'll throw it to my question. Is there any concern that Ceci being part of the core of friends, quote unquote, that there may be animosity in the room towards both players for forcing the Ceci trade? And then this text actually literally just comes in at the same time. What does this do to locker room chemistry, though, especially when players taking less to win than earn the $4 million? The second part of that, talking to former players and other players, they say that this won't impact anything when it comes to the money wise. The part of losing Ceci because of this, there's the two sides I look at this. Is one is, yeah, I could see that there'd be some disappointment in, Cody Ceci's not around because of this offer sheets. But we also all had a feeling that Cody Ceci likely was being traded this year at some point anyways. Like, when we're talking about throughout the last couple of months about how the Oilers going to get under the cap, it was part of this is you got to trade Cody Ceci. You got to trade Cody Ceci. And I know there's something out there about Leon Draisaitl is really tight and fought to keep him. But it's one of those, we also all knew at some point this season Cody Ceci's likely gone. They almost traded him last year. Like, there comes a point you can't just keep everyone around at some point. So I think there would have to be some sort of understanding also, I think, from some players that they would know that it was his time with the Oilers was probably limited anyways. That this maybe just sped it up just a little bit more, but there was a really good chance also that Cody Ceci wasn't going to be part of this team for the playoffs next year anyways.
Yeah, it was almost, they're already anticipating it, waiting for it. I'd imagine just having that name out there for trades and trying to get other pieces to trade Ceci. It was kind of gifted time, but yeah, the clock was definitely brought down, kind of like the clock of whatever 17 hours it is now remaining. If there is an announcement, 19. Sorry,
the hours don't change. For to 7:29 tomorrow morning, the hours are still there, but actually it's going to be 18 soon.
Ooh,
we're at 19 hours 2 minutes.
19 hours 2 minutes.
We're coming close.
Unless there's an announcement at 12:59 right before we're. what would happen
if
there?
this is going to be done tonight, it'll be done before, I want to say 5 o'clock, because I think that's when Stoff Show gets on the air.
Mm-hmm.
To be ready to go for Bob's show, to be ready to go to talk about it. Yeah. That's how it would usually work. Like, legitimately, like he is the Oilers show, so if it's going to get done this afternoon, it'd be done before Bob's show, I would think. And now the question I would throw out there to you, Zach, and everyone listening, let's say the Oilers actually still don't match either of these, and they let them walk. Where are you with what the Oilers have done, and is it there better be another move coming, or like, do you trust that there's another move then coming if they don't match? Where are you guys, like, to all of our listeners here on Edmonton Sports Talk, you, Zach, if let's say the Oilers don't match Broberg and Holloway within the next 19 hours and minute?
Well, there was a thought that I heard out there. I don't know if it was in the nasty chat or other, but it's to stay a little bit positive. It's almost like if they don't match, it's almost like they traded Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway for Jeff Skinner and Victor Arvidsson. So thinking about it in that way, I think on the forward depth, like where the team would be at, it would be a little bit upsetting to see some young pieces, and championship teams have those young pieces that show up. Dylan Holloway also showed up, as did Philip Broberg during the playoffs. Very promising, and I thought that they would continue into the next season, and they would be key pieces, depth pieces to show up and be those young gun sort of stars, to be clutch players in those big moments, as they did show. And it would sting a lot probably for the team knowing that if they don't match, those players are gone. I don't know. It's a very unfortunate situation. It would be a loss for sure, but I still think with the moves that Jeff Jackson and now Stan Bowman being a part of the mix have made from free agency to today and going into tomorrow, if there's no match, I still feel like it would be an improvement on the team, and they are still definitely in contention. But being able to keep these two players, if they can make it work and match those offers, that would be amazing. There would be no other way to put it, as a great success. It does dampen a little bit if both players do go missing and get lost to the St. Louis Blues, that there would be a bit of a blemish on the work that's been done so far. What do you think about it?
Well, I would think that there's some other move that they would have planned and ready to go. I don't think you let two top six defensemen that you've penciled in for the upcoming season to go and not have something already ready. Like, pull the trigger on something tomorrow or Wednesday or something ready to go. Like, I know Rasmus Anderson is the name that's being thrown out there quite a bit. I don't know what other fans think of that. Trev saying brutal. Why do you say brutal? Well, what if he was a weasel for the Oilers? Trev doesn't like him. But is that the type of player that for some other fans they could live with if you lose Broberg? Michael Cook in the nasty chat saying Oilers could still work out a trade with St. Louis before the deadline. That's the one wrinkle. And that trade would have to be like, we will give you this and we won't match, but you give us this type thing. Like, it's not actually the trade. You can't do anything with Broberg or Holloway, but it's the idea around the offer sheet that you could say, we won't match, but in exchange, this is the type of stuff that you are doing. I don't know if I would think we would have gotten something like that already at this point. Also adding, Calvin C saying it wouldn't be the end of the world if the Oilers don't match both those players, as it means they have the ability to do an impact move at the trade deadline. You'd have the cap space, a little bit more flexibility to do that. I haven't looked closely. We're under 19 hours now, just by the way. I do also wonder just what assets they have to move. I guess I shouldn't be questioning Jeff Jackson too much, because he just keeps doing things, come from an asset movement, that no one was expecting, no one is seeing. But next year, like, I look at that trade deadline, you kind of don't have a first round pick to trade. You don't have a second. Now you might have a third, fourth. You'd have a second, third with this, I guess. Mm-hmm. Is a second and third enough at the deadline to make the right moves? Is a second and third going to be enough to go and bring in those bigger pieces? That's the only concern I have a little bit with the Oilers right now, because they don't have a first round pick. Is it for 2 years now?
Something like that. They've been dishing out those first round picks, of course.
Well, there was that whole there's the trade where it got bumped down, so they don't have a first next year.
Then traded it to pick in this year's draft.
I don't.
So they traded their first from
stuff. So they do have a first in 2026.
Still ways away. I mean, then you could just go to the future and trade. Realistically, not from the draft class upcoming, but the one in the following year. That's always an option, to just keep trading first round picks. If you're a championship team, what do you need it for anyway? If you're trying to go for gold and go for the championship there. Well, Ty Emberson, he wears number 6. Interestingly enough, last person to wear number 6 on the Oilers was Adam Larson. So I don't know if he's going to wear number 6. I don't know. Sometimes it's those players who come in, they have to pick a different number, but he was rocking number 6 for the Sharks before coming over now and to Edmonton to wear some orange and blue. He'd slot probably as a sixth defenseman, right? He's only played 30 games in the NHL. Ty Emberson. He hasn't really played much. I can't say much about his game, but he was on the Sharks. So he got quite a bit of ice time.
Yeah. He also played for the Sharks. No wonder he could get some ice time.
Yeah. So
we're sold out. Yeah.
No, that's funny. Somebody coming in for the hat. That's what I like about this place.
Also prize. So.
Oh, also okay.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. That's what I love about this place, though, because for those who haven't been to the EST Global HQ, as we call it, you come on in, open door policy, but you come on in, and right away you could see this spot that we're in here on air. Right when you walk in, see the lights, see the mics and everything. If there's a show going, it's a little bit intimidating. The first time I came in here, one of the first days I came in for shifts when I started my practicum here, coming in, just hearing the show on, I would start whispering because I didn't know how loud I could be, but they don't pick up the sound around that much.
Only the Hangout mics do.
Yeah.
The Hangout mics pick up sound. I'll get that figure it all out one of these days. Dustin with a Y also saying love Matt's shirt. If you want, be sure to send that to @thedieselbarris on Twitter. Because Warren Barris, who he used to work with at the old place, him and I got into huge debates about Yoshi. He doesn't like Yoshi. He'd rip on Yoshi. Who doesn't like Yoshi?
What's wrong with Yoshi?
Anytime I wore this shirt, everyone would always, this is like the only shirt I get compliments on. It's like I wear this and people go, Yoshi's the best. And Warren just can't stand Yoshi. And I don't know why. Yoshi's the best. And Warren doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
That's like not liking pizza. Unless you're sick eating it. What?
We also did a poll twice on Twitter, and Yoshi dominated those polls. But Dustin with a Y, thank you for that. Thank you. I'll let Warren know that myself if I have to later. He's not gonna like that, but he's also a Red Sox fan, so what does he know?
Oh, well, it's a nice blue. It's like worn in. It's got the font. It has character to it. The Yoshi shirt has character. For a long time. It's well loved.
Good 12-year shirt.
Yeah, it's a loved shirt.
Dusty just has things just all over the place here. This is the Oil Stream. Iwanyk, Zachticum with you here. Portions of this hour brought to you by Boston Pizza. Summer is short. Make any occasion a BP patio occasion. Hop on a BP patio today to try their new summer menu. Fresh eats and drinks to fuel all your sunny patio hangs. Today, a beautiful day to be on a BP's patio. We're stuck in this office right now, but what is it? Feels like 25 degrees. Supposed to get to a high of 28 with the humidex of 30. All week staying in the 20s too. Ooh, it's been a nice summer. We got past that heat wave that most people didn't like. I loved it, but I understand most people didn't. This heat, I think, is good for. I think everyone's happy with this.
This is a decent nice temperature. As much as I don't like the heat, I'd much rather have the cold. This is a nice temperature. Having that 30 or above is terrible. I don't know how I'm wearing a sweater and jeans right now. I'm doing all right. Usually it's pretty hot in here. During that heat wave, it was terrible. But
that's because our AC wasn't working.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
AC apparently works now, but it also gets really cold in here, especially in my office.
Yeah. Gotta bring that change of clothes.
To Dawson, any news if there's a news conference coming today from the Oilers? Mark Spector tweeted yesterday that there would be an announcement. It's somebody mentioned that, saying that Spec said, from what he's hearing, the Oilers make an announcement this afternoon. It wouldn't be a news conference. You're not going to have a news conference for this. This is going to be a tweet. Literally, it'll be a tweet, just like they'll send a message to the media in our group that we have there that they send things out. That's what you're waiting for. You're just waiting for that tweet from the Oilers to say, we have matched the offer sheets of blank and blank, or of one. And Chris G saying, apparently Elliot Friedman, Oilers. Oh, I want to look at this. Let me take a look. I want to double check from Elliot. Did he tweet that?
Don't want to just yap about it. The worst part about losing, or moving Cody Ceci, though, is that Hugo is no longer in Edmonton. His dog, his little French bulldog. I just thought about that.
And how does that impact you?
He's the best, or was the best Oilers dog. Now I guess it's Lenny. Lenny McDavid. Or is it Lenny? Leonard.
It's Lenny.
It's Lenny.
I'm pretty sure it's Lenny. He was also part of the wedding party or something like that. Actually, I will say this. I haven't looked at any of the pictures or most of the videos from the McDavid wedding.
Usually you're like all over that kind of stuff, aren't you?
I don't know, not pictures. I just know what's going on. I'm not interested in personally in seeing the pictures of the wedding. I hope they had a wonderful time. By all accounts, they had a wonderful time. I'm happy.
Well, Strathcona Spirits photoshopped a picture. Lauren McDavid held up by Connor,
I saw
and
that
then
picture.
Leon Draisaitl with a birdie booze in her hand, which was just fantastic. Good edit to whoever did that. That's great. I love that so much. Like that's what we need. That's the drink of the summer. Well, it could go down in the winter too. My dad actually tried that over the weekend
Birdie
while
booze?
camping. Yeah, he had a sip of it and he was like, "This is liquor. Like it is sweet. It's nice."
Brought it out for my first place winning team 7B Traditions. At
Should
our
I go
golf
get the
tournament
trophy?
yesterday. No,
And the
people have
sauerkraut?
seen it. People have seen it. My trophy, I should bring in my Tecmo trophy. My office is just full of trophies soon here. But no, we had the birdie booze a little bit yesterday too, which was I got to do it this year with the golf, which is kind of the essence behind it. It was very wonderful. When you get a birdie and you're pulling out the birdie booze and you're all having a little bit of birdie booze, it's really nice.
Yeah, I call it bogey juice. So whenever I get a double bogey, I just take 2 shots instead of 1. But if it's a regular bogey, then I'll just have the 1.
And how often do you get just a regular bogey?
Not very often. So I walk away probably with an empty bottle every time.
Yeah, I would think that's going to go pretty quick if you're doing 2 shots for every double bogey.
Oh yeah, no. Well,
I think you're almost doing that in reverse.
So you're saying if I get a
I
better
think a
shot,
bogey should be the 2 shots and the doubles 1. Otherwise, you're going to finish that bottle really quickly.
especially the way I play.
Yeah, if you're shooting 160, the majority of what you're getting is worse than a double bogey.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting better.
So basically,
well,
you might as well just pour that into a glass and just drink it bring 2 bottles and just drink it because it's no point in shooting it. You're just drinking it.
I don't know if my scores will get better if I do that or worse.
Worse.
Yeah. No, I haven't really
And there'll
been...
be a point where it'll get worse. You'll be fine, and then you'll hit, and there'll be too much, and you're done.
Yeah, I'll feel like I'm getting better, just loosening up a bit, I guess you could say. And then I'll get too greased or whatever kind of way you can describe that. Honestly, when golfing, I haven't really been that messed up. Even at the tournament, the other times I've golfed, pretty level head most times. So I don't know if I have to go the other way the next time I play to try and balance it out, but we'll see.
I had a fair amount of drinks yesterday. I will just say that. A fair amount of drinks on that golf course.
What's your favorite one?
It is my favorite one. It is, and there's a reason for that. And yesterday, even more so, because we won a lot of extra prizes that people weren't happy with. If we had somebody come in looking for a hat, Uncle Jesse in the nasty chat, or Paris Jewelers inbox saying, "Can I come buy a hat?" We are sold out of hats at the moment. I'm not ordering anything at the moment right now. I'm not bringing in new merchandise because coming up in a few weeks. I'm working with Chelsea with The Hive, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk, The Hive Product Marketing, official merch partner at thehiveproductmarketing.com. We're working up on a new pop-up shop that will launch in the fall for a little bit that people can buy some merchandise, just trying to do all that. And then I'll put hats in that, and we'll probably do the regular EST hat that we've done with Edmonton Sports Talk, blue hat, yellow lettering. I'll probably throw the green and gold one up in there. We do want to do, I do want to do a blue with orange lettering on it. Oiler colors.
Yeah.
Or
Would it be?
I wonder if what it would look like with orange and blue lettering. I don't know. And then maybe a light blue lettering one for obviously the baseball team we have in town. So different style hats. And then there'll be another style. Like I want to do a trucker hat. So we'll have a few different versions of hats and then some other merch that we're going to do. So that's all coming. But at this moment right now, we don't have anything in stock here in terms of hats. I got a couple of hoodies left, I think. But for the most part, we're pretty bare when it comes to merch. But it's... Stay tuned because we'll have a pop-up shop that you'll be able to go online and purchase from in the coming months as we get into fall. I don't want to get into fall, but here we are.
Now, would that be all
fall.
flat caps, though?
Not the trucker hat.
Not the trucker hat? Because
hat.
the green and gold one, the limited run that we had there was just a flat cap. And then the original hat, the blue and gold EST colors and Stingers colors as well, there was a curved one and then the flat brim one as well. So I like the curved hat more. It fits better on my noggin. I got a big head, so I'm looking forward to the new hat drop. I was going to ask that actually today to buy a hat. Now I know I got to wait until the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Just in time for, or just around the same time, the Reed Wilkins show is launching with Jay Milne.
That's launching first.
That's launching first.
That's launching well first.
Okay.
So we've got the Reed Wilkins show with Jay Milne coming up September 3rd, I guess it would be, right here in Edmonton Sports Talk, which you're going to be part of that show as well. And then I think tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll announce 1 to 3.
Whew. Big Tuesday.
We know what 1 to 3 is going to be. We're not still looking. We figured it out, and Dusty, I think, was going to announce that tomorrow.
Never mind the offer sheets. That's the biggest news in Edmonton. Come on, let's go. Biggest sports news in Edmonton. Tomorrow, if it is the announcement, that's going to be huge.
I'm pretty sure he's going to do it tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he'll do it tomorrow.
I love it.
Because it's happening this week, and I don't think he'll want to wait. I think he wants to. We want to get it out there, so I think it's happening tomorrow.
No.
Why? So I got to. I just haven't talked to him when he's going to do it, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow on the morning show. Stay tuned. And if it doesn't happen tomorrow, blame Dusty. I'll just go there. The Estes is taking place September 17th, Metro Cinema. You can get your tickets emailing me at matt@edmontonsportstalk.com. The 2 new categories we announced today. Best live performance of the year, musical performance of the year. So we got Josh Clausen. He rapped a couple of times. Actually, he rapped on the golf show too once.
Yeah, he did.
He did do that one. We got the A&W song that was done live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk with Trev, Dusty, Eric, and I forgot his name, but Tuba Guy, I'll call him.
Tuba Guy.
And so if you have any other live performances that we had singing, you could just let us know. Paris Jewelers Inbox, Nasty Chat, and then also the original AM Nasty Song of the Year. So we've got some really good songs from Jonty and Victoria, Dallas and Nelson. We've got the Nasty Bash song that Dusty got created. Just trying to think what other songs would have to be in there.
One of Atif's many renditions.
Atif would have to be in there. There's no question about that. And also, what was that? What was Cup Cherry? The playoff Oilers song.
That one was really good. Honestly, I have to. I know you're not asking me. Nobody is, but I like the Nasty Bash song better.
Nasty Bash song was actually pretty solid. I will give Dusty a lot of props on that one.
Yeah, he's good.
I said Dusty.
I don't know why Trev said thanks. Last time I checked, your name isn't Dusty. YTT. He's a creative guy. I like all those songs, man. That's a hard pick for live rendition.
Well, there was also another Clausen one that he's never actually recorded. He said he was going to record it for me in June. And he hasn't happened. I don't want to just keep bugging him, but he's got a very short period of time to get this done, or it's going to have to maybe be done next year, and then he'd be up for an award next year with it. But I'm really waiting for him to get me this, because I've been waiting for, and it's pretty cool if it happens. But now I'm just waiting for.
Get me a mic. I'll freestyle dual Josh Clausen.
You're gonna freestyle dual Josh Clausen?
I will. I would.
You against Clausen, you think you could beat him in a rap battle?
Yeah. Writing it down.
Portions of this hour of the the Oil Stream. It's brought to you by Popeyes, who have launched boneless wings, a continuation of their bone-in wing platform, which you could choose between the ghost pepper bone-in wings or the all-white eat boneless wings with milder flavor. It includes all their regular sauce offerings, including the signature heat, honey garlic, honey barbecue, garlic parmesan, as well as classic. I can't believe you actually still said that you think you could beat Clausen in a rap battle.
Oh, I'd leave him. Against me, he'd be boneless, just like those wings. Oh, I'm throwing shots at Clausen. No, Clausen, he's got some good freestyle. I like his flow. It's an old school kind of like boom bap kind of flow, I guess. I don't know. I could come in with some heat, just like those boneless wings.
You can't go back to the boneless wings twice.
Why not?
Because I'm sorry, you got to have some variety. You did it once. Okay, it kind of worked. Trev worked with that. And then you go to it again. Klaus is going to go all over the place and run circles around you. As Duck Dad says, Zach is biting off more than he can chew. Clausen will put Zach into retirement while Pennies is going Zach.
What are the odds on Coolbet? Come on. I'll be the underdog for sure. I don't have really any tenure or anything saying that I could rap. But hey, man, I could write something down and I could make it happen.
You don't write something down in a battle.
In a battle? Oh,
this is a battle. Well, he's going to throw some stuff at you, and he's going to riff off of stuff. Like this is where he's going to destroy you.
I don't know anything about him. That's the thing.
But whatever you say, he's going to riff off of that in the moment. I'm assuming and come at you. Whereas you're just going to go back to your notes and read your notes.
Well, I could keep it up here. Study the game.
Yeah, but then he lays something down and you're going to just go something different where you're going to say something and he's going to play off that and throw it back in your face.
It's got to happen.
And then you're going to come back with more boneless wing takes. Wow. This rap battle has to be a hangout thing. Oh, yeah. No, one time I get Clausen on now, it's going to be, I'm going to call it out.
Right.
You started this.
Yeah, I know.
You've started this. Someone's saying do an example of rap.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. If you think you could go into a battle with someone in rap, you should be able to lay something down right now. It's pretty impromptu.
Yeah, you put me on the spot here.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I could have used the bar of the boneless. Okay. Clausen's going to come here, and I'm going to hit him hard just like Klim Kostin. I'm going to make him try and play the game, but right now, he's probably not watching. So we got to wait for time to get the offer sheet, get the dimes out. I don't know. I'm scared now. I'm nervous. I put myself in this spot. Damn it. Shut up, Trev. He's trying to be my hype man. If I have Trev as my hype man, though, that might give me extra fuel to put in the fire.
I will say this. It was better than I expected. What you just did.
Okay.
I'll give better than I expected.
I'm not going to say thanks because I know I'm better.
Rico, goodbye. Peace. We're good. Not an airport. Don't have to announce your departure. Okay. That happened. That happened. You did it on air. I'll give you props for that as well. So good on you. We've got a few more minutes left here on the Oil Stream as we're waiting on the Oilers now. They made their moves yesterday, surprised a lot of people with their trades. Now we're just trying to see is with these moves that they made yesterday, they can match both Broberg and Holloway. They just would have to put Evander Kane on LTIR and then put one player of a cap hit of like 8-10-ish, a little bit over that, which would include, I think Brown is in there. I think Perry would be in there. There's a few others that could be sent down to the minors, and they'd be able to have both those guys. So we're just waiting to see what the Oilers are doing. I'll go with, it's either they're matching at least someone. Otherwise, why are you doing these moves? But if not, they're announcing a trade then in the coming days. I don't see how they're just going to not match these guys after what they did this weekend. Losing a Cody Ceci that we talked about is like close friends with these guys, how Leon is very tight with him. You're not just doing that for cap space this season. You either have something in the works, a la trade, to bring someone in to replace Broberg/Ceci, or you're matching at least one of these guys. I don't see how you would not make at least one matching of the offer sheets after everything you've done this weekend. Or why did you just do what you did this week? You could have just moved on, and it would have been fine. So that's where I'm very intrigued to watch what the Oilers are ultimately going to do. When we get what Mark Spector apparently wrote in his article, I haven't still gone and read it, but people are saying he mentioned that he's hearing that the Oilers will make an announcement this afternoon. So we'll just keep it locked on and then see what the Oilers... Again, Bob Stauffer's on, I think, at 5 with his show. So sometime before 5 o'clock it'll happen, or we're waiting till the Oilers are just going to wait till close to the deadline tomorrow, which is 7:29 a.m. tomorrow, to make the announcement on what they're doing with their offer sheets.
Which I hope it happens because it keeps the anticipation just waiting. That's the exciting thing about any kind of sport. Just they could wait to do that. Like they already know maybe behind the scenes that they're going to match that, but just knowing that the clock is ticking, there's only such a finite amount of time. Oh, Gives me goosebumps. Just like I'm going to give Clausen. All right, I got to stop.
Yeah, don't keep going after Clausen.
No, yeah.
Don't keep digging this hole here.
Yeah. That's okay. I'll show up when the time comes. Believe me.
You'll elevate your game in the heat of the moment.
I'll elevate my game. Yes. Just like Broberg did in the playoffs. Come up clutch. All right.
Calvin saying, Zach, at least make it entertaining and show up at the rap battle in the Smash suit. If you did a rap battle with Clausen in the Smash suit, you would automatically, I think, gain a little bit extra cred.
Street cred, we call it.
I know I'm not going to put like for the win of like however we determine it. I think you'd get a little extra love because you're in the Smash costume.
Pull up in my gi. The Smash costume in a gi.
Oh, well, there goes one thing I was saying. Propane Pimp saying Bob's on holidays this week. Oh, well, there goes my theory that it's going to be announced for Bob's show. If Bob's doing his show today, then you know something's coming today. But didn't know that. So yeah, we got till 7:29 tomorrow morning. The Nielsen Show, Dusty's back. Dusty, Gage, or YouTube Trev, that's tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock. Either they're announcing and discussing what has happened with the Broberg / Holloway offer sheets from today that the Oilers made an announcement of, or they will be live on the air as we count down the minutes, the seconds to 7:29. And when that news does break, Dusty, Gager, and Trev will be doing it live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. So again, tomorrow morning, either they're recapping what has happened today, the news to come later this afternoon, or they're on the air waiting to fully react, which will make, no matter what, the morning show going to be fun because Dusty's got a lot to talk about. Gager will be on, and Trev will have his thoughts, and maybe the Oilers announce a Rasmus Anderson trade, and Trev could talk about that. He's a big fan of Rasmus Anderson.
Yeah, YTT's the biggest Anderson fan. Maybe you can even get we were talking about that, right? Like 2 minutes, 30 seconds actually before we're airing to put the timer on here. That would make it very, very exciting seeing the timer right in between Gager and Dusty tomorrow.
I have more anticipation for the first degree murder Clausen's going to perform on Zach in a rap battle. That's from Duck Dad. He's going to have the final word today here on the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. Thanks for everyone for tuning in to Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. On behalf of Zach, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the Oil Stream on this Monday. Up next, it is a Nielsen Show replay on our audio stream. And then, as I mentioned, it will be the Nielsen Show Dusty, Gager, Trev, tomorrow morning right here on Edmonton Sports Talk with a lot more coverage for you here on Edmonton Sports Talk, EST. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Chat with you tomorrow.